Have you ever been in a situation where you stood up for what was right, only to have your entire world turned upside down? This is a story about Liam, a young man who lost his job simply for trying to help his coworkers. He felt alone, defeated, and without hope. But a chance encounter in a small cafe and the quiet courage of a stranger would change everything. Before we continue with Liam's story, we'd love to know where you are watching from. Please let us know in the comments so we can bring more stories that resonate with you and people from all around the world. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming stories. Now, let's dive into the story. The scent of roasted coffee beans and old books filled the small cafe. For Liam, it was a sanctuary. For the price of a single cheap coffee that he nursed for over 2 hours, he got a small table, a power outlet, and most importantly, free Wi-Fi. His laptop was open, the screen glowing with job application websites. Each one felt like a small mountain to climb. Rejected. Rejected. No response. The words blurred together. It had been 3 weeks since he was fired. 3 weeks of dwindling savings and growing anxiety. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't a bad worker. In fact, he was one of the best forklift operators at the massive Omnicorp warehouse. But he had made one critical mistake in the eyes of his employer. He had started asking questions. He had talked to his co-workers about better pay, safer working conditions, and the idea of forming a union. The company found out, of course. They always did. They called him into a cold, windowless office and fired him for a made-up reason. Not a team player, they said. Liam knew the real reason. He was a troublemaker. He was a threat. A young woman with a kind smile approached his table. Her name was Chloe, and her apron was stained with a little bit of chocolate syrup. "Hey," she said softly, holding a coffee pot. "Need a top-up?" "It's on the house." Liam looked up, surprised. "Oh, I can't really—" "Don't worry about it," she whispered, pouring the hot, dark liquid into his cup. "You've been staring at that screen for a while. Looks like you could use it." She gave him a small, understanding nod before walking away. That small act of kindness was the first good thing that had happened to Liam all day. It made him feel seen. For a moment, the heavy weight on his chest felt just a little bit lighter. And then the bell above the cafe door chimed. The atmosphere in the room shifted instantly. A woman in a dark, expensive-looking business suit walked in. Her heels clicked sharply on the wooden floor, a sound that demanded attention. Her hair was perfect. Her bag was designer. Her face was set in a look of cold, impatient authority. She didn't look at the menu. She just walked straight to the counter as if she owned the place. Liam's heart dropped into his stomach. He recognized her immediately. It was Eleanor Vance, the CEO of Omnicorp, the woman whose face was on business magazines, the woman who had personally signed off on the company's anti-union policies. The woman who, ultimately, was the reason he was here. Jobless, with $4 left in his bank account. He quickly looked down, hoping she wouldn't see him. He tried to make himself smaller in his chair, pulling the hood of his sweatshirt over his head. But it was too late. Her sharp eyes scanned the small cafe, and they landed right on him. A cruel, thin smile spread across her face. She forgot about her coffee and began walking toward his table. Every click of her heels sounded like a hammer blow. "Well, well," she said, her voice dripping with fake surprise. "Liam, isn't it? I almost didn't recognize you without your company uniform." Liam's face turned red. He didn't know what to say. "Ms. Vance?" he mumbled, his voice barely a whisper. Chloe, the waitress, was wiping down a nearby table and paused, sensing the tension. Other customers started to look over, curious about the commotion. Eleanor Vance leaned in, placing her hands on his small table. "I have to say I'm not surprised to see you here, wasting your day in a coffee shop. This is exactly what I expected from someone who spent more time trying to cause trouble than actually working." Liam finally looked up, his embarrassment turning into a flicker of anger. "I was a good worker. I just wanted fair treatment for me and everyone else." Eleanor let out a short, sharp laugh. A laugh that made Liam feel like an insect. "Fair treatment?" she scoffed, her voice getting louder now. "You mean getting paid more for doing less? You people are all the same. You think the world owes you something. You're a freeloader, Liam. You want a handout instead of earning your way. Let me give you some free advice. Stop whining and start working. Oh, wait, she said, tapping her chin with a perfectly manicured finger. You can't, because nobody wants to hire a lazy troublemaker. The humiliation was a physical thing. Liam could feel the stares of everyone in the cafe. He felt trapped. He wanted to say something back, to defend himself, but the words were stuck in his throat. What could he say? She was a powerful CEO. He was just nobody. He simply stared back at her, his jaw tight, his eyes burning with shame. Satisfied with her public takedown, Eleanor Vance straightened her suit jacket. "Enjoy your coffee," she said with a final dismissive wave of her hand. Then she turned and walked out of the cafe without buying a thing, leaving a trail of silence and shock behind her. The cafe was quiet for a long moment. Liam just sat there, staring into his cup, wishing the floor would open up and swallow him. He started to slowly close his laptop, ready to leave and hide from the world. Then he saw a gentle movement. It was Chloe, the waitress. She quietly walked over to his table. He expected her to ask him to leave, to tell him he was causing problems. Instead, she slid a folded napkin onto his table. "Don't listen to her," she said, her voice low but firm. "My dad worked at a factory for 30 years. I know what people like her do. I know how they talk. You did nothing wrong." Liam looked at her, his eyes filled with gratitude. He was about to thank her when she gently pushed the napkin closer to him. "Look at that," she said. He unfolded it. Inside there was no message. There was only a clean, crisp business card. It read, "David Chen, attorney at law, specializing in labor rights and wrongful termination." Liam looked from the card back to Chloe, confused. "He's the best," Chloe said, her voice full of conviction. "He works pro bono for cases like this. He helped my cousin's husband when his company did the same thing to him. They won." She leaned in a little closer. "I'm a member of the Service Workers Union. We look out for each other." "You're not alone in this." She tapped the card with her finger. "Call him," she said. "Don't let her win." And with that, she gave him another small, encouraging smile and walked back behind the counter, leaving Liam alone with the business card. He picked it up, feeling the weight of the thick paper in his fingers. It felt like more than just a card. It felt like a tool, a weapon, a key. For the first time in 3 weeks, the crushing weight of despair started to lift. Eleanor Vance had tried to make him feel powerless, small, and defeated. And for a moment, she had succeeded. But the simple, brave act of a kind waitress had changed everything. He was still unemployed. He was still scared. But he wasn't powerless anymore. He had a chance to fight back. Liam took a deep breath, pulled out his phone, and began to dial the number on the card. So that was the story of Liam, and the moment a complete stranger gave him the hope he needed to stand up to a corporate giant. It shows that even the smallest act of solidarity can make the biggest difference. We have a question for you. What would you have done if you were Chloe, the waitress in that situation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story resonates with you, please hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It's completely free for you, but it helps us a lot to continue bringing you these powerful stories. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you in the next video.